I'm Hannah Burkhardt, and I'm here at Meals on Wheels in Greenfield with Kathleen Vale, the Executive Director. How are you today?
Good, thanks for having me.
So could you just tell us a little background about how the organization started in Hancock County?
Sure. So in 2001, there was a need that was brought to the attention of several people in our community that there were residents that just didn't have access to food. So we were actually sitting in Jill Carr's office. She's one of the founding board members of the organization, and her and several others created a 501c3. And then modeled our organization after other Meals on Wheels programs throughout the country. And that's how we were established.
And could you give us some background on how they give back to the community or what they do here exactly?
Sure. So really our mission is to create independence for homebound residents so that they're able to stay longer in their homes without having to go to a nursing home or a long-term care facility. And part of that is providing nutritious meals to homebound residents. So our homebound residents are typically the elderly, as well as those that are disabled. We also provide meals to short-term meal delivery to those that might be recovering from a shorter illness, and then they're able to live independently without the meals. But we prepare 2 meals a day. One is a hot meal and one is a cold meal. They're prepared at the hospital. Our clients all have to get a medical prescription from their doctor. So some clients have medical needs, so we're able to tailor their meals specifically for those medical concerns, like if they have high cholesterol, or they need to be on a low cholesterol diet, or some are renal failure, they need to be on a special diet. So we're able to do all that, and you'll see later with some of the video what those meals look like. So we prepare a hot meal and a cold meal, and the hot meal and cold meal are both delivered at the noontime hour by volunteers. So volunteers come, pick up the meals, and then they go and deliver it. But most of our clients are not able to prepare meals themselves. Physical limitations, medical concerns, some have early onset Alzheimer's, some have never prepared meals for themselves just because of a disability. So we're able to do that for them.
Now, what do you do as an executive director here?
I do many things, actually. So I help manage the day-to-day operations. I help recruit volunteers. I help with our board of directors. So we have a group of volunteers that are part of our board that help with the oversight and responsibilities of some of the organization. Fundraising is a big part of what we do. But then I'm out and doing what you and I are doing right now, just sharing information about senior hunger and isolation and those that are homebound, because we're never really talking about seniors. We're always talking about other things and not really looking at the seniors. So I'm out there trying to get the message out there to get to know who your neighbors are.
Now, where do you usually operate from in Greenfield other than your packing center here at the hospital?
Sure. So our actual office location is over at, it's on Main Street, down on 40, over where 1133 West Main Street is where our location is. So it's a small little office. It's myself. I'm not full-time. My program coordinator only works 20 hours a week. She's the one that coordinates all the volunteers and does some of the administrative stuff in the office.
Now, where are all the meals sent out from, or how do they get to their patients?
Sure. That is, we have it down. It is a smooth running process. So we actually are completely dependent upon our volunteers. It takes about 140 volunteers a month to they volunteer their hours, which are about 200 hours a month that they volunteer, and that is so that they can go out and make deliveries, which we usually deliver about 1,800 meals a month.
Wow.
And that's all done by volunteers. We don't pay any staff to do that. I mean, once in a while, obviously, we deliver as well. But our volunteers come here at Hancock Regional Hospital. They come into the packing center, and you'll see later in the video that our packer has their routes. We have 8 routes throughout the county. So we have a route that goes up north on Route 9 all the way out to Shirley, Fortville, McCordsville. We deliver to New Pal and Cumberland. We have 4 routes that are here in Greenfield. So we even deliver down south and then over in Fountaintown. So then the volunteers will pick up their routes here, the bags. They get a hot bag and a cold bag, and then they take those meals and they start their deliveries. There's instructions that go along with all of the bags, and it tells you where where you're delivering to. And some of our in-town routes only take 45 minutes to deliver. Obviously, New Pal, McCordsville area take much longer. So, and those are the routes that are hardest to fill because it's like an hour and a half round trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what makes a patient eligible for your program?
Sure. So being homebound is really the eligibility. So if they're not able to prepare meals for themselves, usually the doctor is aware of that because there's a medical condition or a physical condition. So when a client or potential client calls the office, we ask them to call their doctor, and they need to get a prescription from their doctor stating what kind of meal they need to be on. Plus they fill out an application, and usually we're talking to a caregiver that usually calls us and needs to set up meals for their mom or dad or grandma. And that's pretty much it. It's just them being homebound and just not having the access and the ability to prepare meals.
Now, you're speaking of hot and cold meals. What do these usually consist of?
Sure. So the hot meal comes in a container that's microwavable. It's very similar to what you see in a frozen meals. There's 3 compartments. So there's a protein, chicken, fish, beef, depending on the client's diet, and then there's a starch, and then they'll have a vegetable. So those are delivered hot to our clients, so that, and when I say hot, some of our clients answer the door with gloves to take their meals because they're warm. And then the cold meal consists of something that they can put together themselves later, but they don't have to cook. So it is usually like today's corned beef and Swiss. And then depending on their preference of bread, they'll get bread. Sometimes we do ham salad, chicken salad. Again, depending on what their dietary restrictions are. Obviously, some clients are high cholesterol, can't have egg salad. But like today, they're getting angel food cake. Again, depending on their diet. Or they'll have low sugar pudding, Jell-O. There's a salad that goes along with it, sometimes a fresh fruit. And then actually today, those that are on regular diets are going to get baked Lay's chips to go along with but we try to balance it. It's always based on calories and, again, their dietary needs.
That's understandable. So how can people help out and give back to those who can't get food to themselves?
Sure. They can volunteer if you're 18 and older, or if you're under 18, you can volunteer with your family to deliver meals. We do just deliver Monday through Friday, so we don't deliver on the weekends. You can get involved by volunteering for any of our events that we have. You can visit our website, follow us on Facebook. We have a great following on Facebook. Sometimes we do food drives because we prepare emergency food boxes for our clients during the winter months. Donations, we are completely dependent upon donations. We don't receive federal or state funding, so we're dependent on the community to support us. So those are ways.
Now, what are the requirements or qualifications to become a volunteer other than being 18?
Okay. Great question. Really, it's being 18 and having the ability to drive, because you need to have a car to drive and deliver the meals to clients. And then obviously not having, any, like we do a background check, it's an application, so not having, we have to do a criminal background check. But other than that, other ways, if you're under 18 and you want to volunteer, some of the food drives, we have some people that will just put care packages together, and then we get them delivered along with the meals for the clients. So I always say, if anyone's interested, we could probably find them a way of volunteering. And if it's not with our organization, and anybody that has a heart for the elderly, or you want to get involved, there's so many organizations that you can just go, like the nursing homes and the long-term residents, or senior center, or senior services. There's different ways to get involved with seniors in our community.
So where can people find out more information about this organization?
Okay. So if I always say call the office, which is 317-477-4345. Visit us online, which is mealsonwheelsonline.org, or Facebook. So we are Meals on Wheels of Hancock County. So that's important. You know, there are other Meals on Wheels organizations, but follow us on Facebook. We're trying to get to like 500 likes, so that would be great. But yes, those are the ways to contact us. Get involved.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
We're about to go on a walkthrough through the Meals on Wheels facility.
And we're here at Hancock Regional Hospital. We partner with them for the meal preparation and packing. We're entering into the kitchen where they actually prepare the meals. This is Derek, and he is actually going to show us how a meal is covered and protected with our sealant.
Just get the plastic, pull it over, stick it in, hold it down for 3 seconds. Pull it off and seal it.
So those hot meals that we just saw that were being prepared, we prepare about 70 of the hot meals a day, and then we have about the same. So about 140 meals are going out every day. Okay. So as you can see, this is our packing area. This is Tammy. She's one of our packers. She packs for us Tuesday through Friday. She knows all of our volunteers. So for each of our meals, the client gets an orange, like a juice or a milk, depending on their preference of drink. So they'll receive a hot meal, a cold meal with all the fixings that you can see, some fruit and some potato chips, but they'll also receive 2 drinks along with their meals. So all the meals are, they're weighed by ounces, since you're looking at needing to be careful about calorie intake. Then also there's 2 bags that go along with every meal.
Like this is a special dietary one that they have, like a soft diet, so they have to have stuff that's ground or real soft things like puddings and jellos, and they have diabetics and different kinds of diets that they have to have.
And then what happens is Tammy's packing the cold meals together, and then we have, if you want to take some pictures, there are bags that we prepare the hot meals and the cold meals into. So as you can see, Tammy is putting all of the cold bags for the particular route she's preparing inside our cold bag, and that will be put in the refrigerator and ready for when our volunteers come to pick up the meals. And then below Tammy, you could see that there are hot bags, and those hot bags, the meals that we just saw that were being prepared in the back with the nice film and sealant on it, they will actually get put in our warmer over here. This is usually where the hot meals will be. And then when the volunteers come, Tammy has the bags all ready for the volunteers, and then when they show up, she'll go in and get whatever route they're there for, and then put them in a hot meal, and then we have some route sheets that will go in each of the bags, and then they just take their bags and just go along. It's a really easy process.
Seems very, very organized.
It is. It's very organized, and it's pretty simple, and our volunteers love how organized it is. We have volunteers that have been with our organization for 15 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Very dedicated.
They are dedicated, but once they get connected to our clients, and we make it convenient for them, and again, it's instant. Like, you just get an instant connection with somebody, and it just continues to have our volunteers come back. But we have companies that volunteer. Greenfield Banking volunteers for us, Rotary Club, we have Covance, Elanco. They all come on their lunchtime and they'll volunteer for us.
That's great that the community knows that you're here and they know that there's a need for everything.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing this for us, and thanks for interviewing me.
It's absolutely no problem.